Good morning and welcome to video number 7 of the NICEAD training videos. This video we are going to focus on subscriptions and notifications. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to sign in as test user. And what exactly is a subscription? A subscription is basically a way to tell the website to notify you if something happens, if there's an update to a certain type of content, if new content appears of a certain type, you will get a notification that something has happened. You're kind of already getting that a little bit with the general notifications that have been set up. You get notified if there's a new post in the group, and you're also getting notified if there's new comments in certain forums and responses to that. And we're going to show you how to set up some additional subscriptions. To do that, you're going to go to My Account. If you recall from the last video, this is where we relate with the website. We set our settings for how we're going to relate to the website. You're going to click on Notifications. We'll start here. There's actually a number of different ways to skin a cat. You'll see here that it tells me there's an overview. I have 7 subscriptions. My default sending method for new subscriptions is mail, and you'll see as we go through that you can change that to web, which will, instead of sending you email messages, will send you messages to this message tab. And your default sending interval for new subscriptions is immediately. Let's take a look. Let's administer my subscriptions. You'll see what I'm currently subscribed to, and we'll show you a little bit about these things. I'm subscribed to Content by Nick Rich. I'm subscribed to a certain content type, Basic Page Post by Mark Stowe, All Posts by Eric. I'm also subscribed to content in different forums, and how it does the forums is the forums have a tag. And so it would be content tagged with this particular forum, the general discussion forum, the NICEAD member discussion, and the executive committee discussion. So those are my active subscriptions. You're probably wondering why I'm subscribed to Nick Rich's stuff. Well, it was basically just a practice exercise on my part to make sure I understood how to do all of this. And so just for kicks, I subscribed to Nick Rich. So Nick, if you're doing anything out there, I'll be getting a message about it. Anyway, you can see here that I can filter these by type, maybe just the ones that are by author, and you'll see that I've only gotten the ones by Nick and Eric. I can undo that filter. I can delete them. I can edit those subscriptions. I'm not going to go through all of this with you. I actually only get about a 6 or 7 minute video that YouTube allows me to do. So I'm just going to say that those options are there for edit and deleting those subscriptions. And that's where you would manage your current subscriptions. If you were to go and click on some of these other ones, you can also see your author subscriptions, your content type subscriptions, your forum subscriptions. You can actually, for the forums, that was actually a special module, a forum notifications module. They actually have something here where you can, they got a nice interface. I wish some of these other ones would have that, but here you can actually change, from mail to web. And again, if you change to web, you're going to get your messages here, not as an email. You could add subscriptions to the other forums there also. Tags and threads, and we'll look at threads in a minute. Those are like the comments or the different threads in the in the forums. When you actually subscribe to a forum, you're subscribing for new topics, not for new threads. So you actually have to subscribe to a particular thread if you want to get notified when that thread has additional content. And we'll look at that briefly. Before we go any further, let's say you wanted to add a subscription. You could simply go here to the navigation menu and hit Add Subscription. And you could add any of these different types of subscriptions. So we'll just do one real quick. I'm going to add a content type by author. Kind of kill two birds with one stone here. I'm going to make mine a web, so it'll contact me by sending me a message to that message tab. The content type. So let's see. I want all group downloads, okay, that were done by Gabalski. Let's see if we can get in. Now you need to know the username. That can make it actually a little tricky. Our usernames are like this, but if we have another user come in and give themselves a different name, you would actually have to know that username. So it gets a little tricky. So I'm going to get all the download groups by Anita Gabalski and create that subscription. And sure enough, it's there. There it is. And we could go and edit it at this point if we needed to. We're not going to, but I want to show you that you could. And if you were to go back to my account, you would now see under notifications that I've got an additional subscription, and if we were to look, you would see it's the one by Anita Gabalski. There it is. And then I can manage it through this tab here. You'll note that that's one way to add subscriptions. If we go to there are other ways, and essentially, if you like a piece of content and you want to know when more of that kind of content comes out, like let's say I like what Thomas Kump writes, so I want to make sure I subscribe to anything that Tom Kump does. You can see shoot, didn't do what I wanted it to do. Well, I could click on Tom Kump here, and then when I view here his account, you could see that I could subscribe to all posts by Tom Kump. Okay, so I can actually subscribe here. So you can subscribe through the Add Subscription. You'll also, as you look on the site, you'll also see places on the bottom of certain pages where you can subscribe to either the author, or maybe you could subscribe to the that content type. A particular interest to some of you folks. Let's see if we can find a content type here, and I'll show you. We're going to go to this one here, just for kicks. And you should see on the bottom here, if you don't want notifications when this is updated, you can click there. Actually, I thought you'd be able to subscribe here. Well, it is. You will see these other subscription links as you are making your way through the site. And if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe by clicking on them. Let's go to forums. I do know that there are these links here, and here's an example. You can subscribe to these forums here. Now, test user is a group member role, so it can see the forums, and it can subscribe to these different forums. Let's pop into one of these forums for a minute. Let's go here, because I want to show you where you can know. Again, when you subscribe to a forum, you're subscribing to new topics, not new posts on a thread. So let's say I'm really interested in this discussion on state aid for office staff. Okay, I can subscribe to this thread here. So subscribe to this thread, subscribe to posts of type forum topic. So I can subscribe just to this thread. Alright. So, go through and, there's not a lot of content on here now. But I can see you definitely may be wanting to subscribe to some of these forum threads if you're of interest and see what new people are posting. So that's kind of subscriptions in a nutshell. And I told you what they're about, and I gave you some examples on how to go ahead and do them. As we get more and more content on here, they probably will become more usable, or not more usable, more valuable to subscribe to things that you're particularly interested in. Alright, well that's it for today. Thank you very much. And hopefully you learned a little bit about the site today. Take care.